Genesis is the book of beginnings. Genesis records the beginning of all of creation, brought into being out of nothing by the mighty word of God. Genesis charts the beginning of humanity, which is formed by the hands of God, given breath from the lungs of God, and ushered into relationship with God, and then given the great privilege of acting as God's representatives here on earth. Genesis also records the sorry beginnings of sin, which enters into our world as Satan, the enemy of God and his people, leads Adam and Eve astray and causes them to rebel against their Maker. And throughout the book we find sin and its sorry consequences, not least in the families we find there, the families of Abraham, Isaac and Jacob. Genesis also tells us about the beginnings of God's redemption. There are breadcrumbs of redemption littered throughout the book. They come in the form of God's promises. Promises that are made, first of all, to Adam and Eve, to Noah, to Abraham, Isaac and Jacob. And these promises are so enormous, so awesome, that they even encompass you and me. Genesis is the book full of beginnings, but the hero of the book of Genesis is the one who has no beginning and who will have no end. For the hero of the book is God himself. The structure of Genesis is reasonably simple. There are two large parts. The first part, chapters 1 to 11, is shot with a wide-angle lens and tells the story of the whole world from the moment of its inception. This includes creation, the fall, the flood, and the Tower of Babel. The second half is chapters 12 through to chapter 50, and this is shot with a zoom lens, and there's just one family in focus: Abraham, his son Isaac, his grandson Jacob, and his great-grandsons, who go on to form the first 12 tribes of Israel. This family is far from perfect, and yet it's to this family that we find God show his grace time and time again in his promises.